John.
Get to find out today.
Running back. Bergen Catholic coming out in the black uniforms. Coach Campanelli and his troops have not lost since November 14th of 2020. It was to this very same Don Bosco prep. Will that be the case here today as foot will touch leather, and we're underway here from Crusader Stadium. Glad you could join us here on Flow Sports. And here comes the Connor Cosgrove kickoff return. That will be where the Ironmen will start their first offensive drive as we take a look at the players to watch here for the Don Bosco Prep Ironmen. It's the quarterback, Nick Minicucci. Delaware commit, Joe, 6'2", 197-pound senior. One of the top quarterbacks in the state with 1,089 yards to this point. Play, fake handoff. Minicucci down the far side, and it is caught at the 45. One play, it's a big one. Bobby Mays, his 8th catch of the year, and Don Bosco with the first haymaker here on the first play.
Yeah, you want to get something started, you got to get the ball down the field, and they came out right away and threw the ball down the field to get something started. We talk about how these two teams like to run the football, but you can loosen things up when you can stretch the field like that.
We get a long gain into plus territory for 31 yards on the first play from scrimmage. That puts Mays over 100 on the year, 107 as the whistle blows. And if there was an area that Bergen could be as good as they are, as there is looks like a legal procedure penalty, but if there is an area that Bergen could be attacked, Coach Campanelli said that his secondary is the one that can be challenged. You saw it there.
Yeah, got a lot of new faces in the secondary this year. They haven't really been tested a lot, so he'll get to find out today whether or not they're up to the task.
So it'll be a 1st and 15 now from the 50-yard line rather. And Minicucci gets all that back. We'll run down the far seam. And that'll move it back into plus yardage there. And so Minicucci again, the commit to Delaware. And his opponent on the other side, running back, Saeed St. Fleur, going there as well. That's a heck of a football program. Kind of like James Madison, they probably could move up to the FBS level. They come out in a kind of a pistol formation. And they're going to hand it off right to Logan Bush. And Bush close to the 35-yard line where he'll be maybe a yard or two short for the first down. It'll be a 3rd and short here.
Yeah, a little bit of what we call a full set with the quarterback in shotgun. You don't see a lot of that because the reason a lot of teams are starting to go to it now, especially in the high school level, is it gives you the option to run lead to both sides.
Minicucci, as Dan Sabella, the head coach, used the dynamic to describe his offense. He'll have 2 backs in the backfield behind Minicucci. And whistle blows, flag thrown. And I think all signs called on the defense, and that'll be another first down for Don Bosco Prep.
When we talk about mistakes, and both teams have made a mistake. Don Bosco with the false start earlier in the drive, and now we see Bergen Catholic with the offsides on defense. And you're going to want to eliminate those mistakes. Give your team a chance to make plays on their own. You don't want to give the other team anything that they might get.
They come under center this time. 1st and 10 from outside the 30. Minicucci rolling out. He's just going to run with it. And He will go out of bounds at the 25-yard line, get himself a little drink of water, and head back into the huddle.
Yeah, got a hit of that Gatorade on the sideline and heading back out there on the field. Like, I'm heating up. Let me cool myself off a little bit, but because I got more heat to give you.
Yeah, he certainly did. He was the, I saw the highlights of their state championship loss last year, and his run to give them a 7-0 lead was quite inspirational, to say the least. He lowered his shoulder, dove in, was fired up. A little snap throw to the far side to Nolan James, who Coach Sabella says is an elusive sophomore that's going to get big time by the time he comes around. He's the nephew of the running back coach at UConn, E.J. Barthel.
1st and 10, Don Bosco at the Bergen Catholic 16.
Bosco gets the first down.
Well, a nice job that time on the RPO. The running back thought he was going to get it inside, but when the quarterback counted the box, the numbers were favorable outside, so he slung it out there to the receiver, and they got another first down.
So they're going to send a man in motion, play action, across the middle, caught, touchdown! Don Bosco, Bobby Mays, 2 big catches on this drive, and he puts the Ironmen up 6-0, just about 3 minutes and change into the first quarter.
So you want to start a football game off right, you start a football game off completing passes down the field. And we saw 3 passes on this drive where they were able to get the ball down the field. That time they faked the jet sweep. There was a little bit of counteraction. Quarterback raises up, and excellent timing on the slant route. Receiver catches, and he gets to the ground before the hit.
Here's the extra point. And that is up and good as Jack Donnelly drills his 18th extra point of the year. And with 8:15 to go here in quarter number 1, Don Bosco strikes first, 7-0. You're watching Flow Football.
Kick for Bergen Catholic on karate and Mimo. Kicking off for Don Bosco is Gavin Good.
Don Bosco Prep striking first here in the 87th meeting between these 2 programs. Joe Simmons and Chris Hooks here. Joe, your thoughts on that drive, how easy it was?
I liked how they executed. I felt like they had a good game plan. You could see that they were putting themselves in position with the different formations to see how they were going to line up. And the script plays just happened to be excellent plays.
So here comes the kickoff by Don Bosco. And it's caught. And he will get to about the 20-yard line. I thought that was Christian Carty. Matthew Severin made the play there. Here's a player to watch this afternoon, Saeed St. Clair, Joe. Again, you look at him, talk about his game and how dominant he can be out of that backfield.
He's an excellent running back, has excellent control, excellent feet. Going to be a great addition to Delaware's backfield. They usually stay loaded in that situation, and he's going to bring another element to the fold.
The first play is a jet sweep. They break contain and get close to a first down on that first play. And they give it to number 1, Kaz Sanders, a high-end defensive player that finds his way on to the field in the offensive side as well. So it'll be second down and short as Jack Duffy is the quarterback. Duffy, a quick handoff. Will get the close to the first down, if not the first down. They're going to go no huddle here. You hear Coach Campanelli talk about his offense. He says this offense is more of one you see on Sunday as opposed to one on Saturday. St. Flair is the back in the backfield. As they have it 1st and 10. Another jet sweep. Sanders breaking free. Look at him go! To the 40, to the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown! Bergen Catholic. Just like that. Bergen Catholic has a chance to tie it with an extra point.
Talk about bringing speed to the table that time. They got him to what?
First down runs by Sanders, and the extra point by Gaetano Bartolomeo is up and good. And that's his 20th extra point of the year. We're not even halfway through quarter number 1. It's 7-7. We'll take a timeout. 7-7 to score. This is Flow Football. We're in quarter number 1 as Bergen Catholic and Don Bosco Prep both throwing haymakers as we are tied at 7. You see Connor Cosgrove return another kick if it doesn't go into the end zone, and it will. And Cosgrove is the one who caught it, and that's the 20-yard line is where Don Bosco Prep will start this possession. All right, if you're the defensive coordinator for Bergen Catholic, Joe, what adjustments are you making? And if you're Don Bosco's offensive coordinator, what adjustments are you making there?
Well, you set them up last drive with the passing game, came out good on the field. They weren't expecting that right away. And then you were able to have a lot of success throwing the intermediate passing game with some in cuts. I'm sure they're going to shift the defense a little bit, probably play a little bit more zone. And if the softer cushions, Don Bosco's probably going to run the ball a little bit more and maybe run some quarterback draws.
So here's Minicucci. He throws it into the dirt, incomplete. And it will be 2nd down and 10. Nolan James was not going to tempt his fate there. And Minicucci looking over to the sideline. Again, lots of good pieces on this offense. The offensive line led by 2 guys on the left side that are certainly, one is already committed. He's the #1 player in New Jersey, Chase Bisson. Christopher Moreno, the left guard. And then Toomey, Garcia, and Francis, they're going to get big looks as well as Minicucci just running up the middle on the draw. It's short of the 25-yard line, maybe the 24 is where they'll mark it and see where they finally do. Looks like they're halfway between the two, and so it'll be 3rd down.
Third and about 5.
I mean, we are at this stadium, again, when you're in the state of New Jersey, not a lot of room for a lot of things. We are literally in a neighborhood, and it feels like we're playing Sandlot football here, and it's amazing. Here's Minicucci on 3rd down, and he'll throw it across the middle, and that is caught for a 1st down. He got popped solid, too. Good catch by the receiver coming across the middle. That was Daniel Parisi. That was his 16th catch of the year. The 6', 175-pound senior makes the catch there.
Well, a lot of times that in-cut route, you know you're going to get hit, so you may as well hang on to the football. that time Minicucci was able to put it in a tight window, and the receiver was able to corral it and preserve the drive.
So 1st and 10. Have it at the 34. With the handoff. Looked like that was Logan Bush that got it there, or it might have been Nolan James who got the handoff. He came in today a little over 300 yards rushing. He was someone that Coach Sabella talked about this week. Needs to have a big game. I think for him, he wasn't terribly worried about his offense, because this is an offense that averages close to 500 yards a game, Joe, scoring 34 points. For him, it was his defense. He felt like his defense really needed to step it up here today. And, well, one drive, not so much. It's certainly looked the part.
Well, when you have a team that can score a lot of points, you know that the other team can as well. So we know that the first team to 30 is probably going to win this one.
Nolan James made an absolutely beautiful run there to get the first down. Daquan Stewart was the man who brought him down.
What you like about James' run is the footwork he showed. You see he's got quick feet, and that time able to avoid the shoestring tackle and pick up the first down.
Again, records don't matter in this one. As again, 2-2 is Don Bosco heading into this one. But again, the schedule they faced, just like Bergen Catholic, very tough. They'll have it 1st and 10 near midfield. James trying to get to the outside. Holding call. James does get past midfield, but that's going to certainly be back. That was as plain as the day is young.
Yeah, typically what the run was going to be a B-gap run, and he bounced it all the way outside, and you put the tackle and the tight end in predicament when you do that. They're bracing for the run inside, and then you go outside, and that's where the defender has leverage, so they grab to save you.
Moving back. 37-yard line of Don Bosco. They start back to the 37. Minicucci will try to get back. It looks like it's 1st and certainly long as Minicucci pressured. Ball's tipped, nearly intercepted, and a very smart job. I didn't see who did this. One of the offensive linemen, it looked like it was number 51, Moreno, knocked it down to keep it alive because Samir Mitchell or Elijah Kinsler were ready to pick.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see a lineman try to make that catch. Instead, the smart thing, knocking it away, getting that field position back, because if he catches it, he's going to get tackled for about a 15-yard loss.
2nd down and 18. You can see the Bergen Catholic defensive line. And I have to say, I'm digging the new unis.
I do like them, but this defensive line is tough. They're not easy to run on, and they get good pass pressure. So it's going to be interesting to see how this offensive line holds up for Don Bosco.
Come up 5 wide on 2nd and 18. Minicucci throw it away, and it's going to be 3rd down and long here. And this is a situation that Coach Sabella said they do not need to get in against this defense.
Yeah, smart pass that time by Minicucci. It looked like he was going to get sacked, and he was able to throw it over the receiver's head, who was covered well into the boundary. Nobody was going to make that catch unless they were standing out of bounds.
And this is exactly how the state championship game went. They marched down the field and scored, and then Bergen Catholic just shut down from there, scoring 28 unanswered points to earn the 18th state championship for Bergen Catholic, and the first under Vito Campanelli, the head coach. 3rd and 18. Lets it rip, and that'll be well incomplete. And the punting unit will have to come out on the field for the Iron Men of Don Bosco Prep out of Ramsey, New Jersey.
Excellent job that time by Ryan Phelan, getting pressure on the backside, making him pick it up and throw it a little faster than he wanted to. If he gets his feet set and has time to deliver that, he has a receiver running open on the deep out.
Chris Memo is the punt return. They're punting from just ahead of the 21. And that's not a perfect punt, but it will be challenging to field. And Memo almost dropped it, but he paid for it. That's one of those situations when it's bouncing, you almost, to your own detriment, might want to let it go.
Bergen Catholic
You can't catch it with your hands.
first and 10
Trying to
at
catch it with your bare
21.
body. You need to let it go.
Because
He was lucky.
there's a reason the football is oblong like that. It does not bounce true.
Well, now it's going to be big that Don Bosco holds up defensively. We've seen Bergen come out in the last drive, and they ran a couple of plays from untraditional sets, and it looked like it confused Don Bosco a little bit. So now Bergen's probably going to come out and get in some things that they're a little more familiar with, just show a couple more different formations and see if they can make something big happen.
Again, both coaches making their adjustments. Very interesting to see how the first drive was just so easy for Don Bosco. And I think, again, this goes to show you the mistakes that cost you big time. A hold. I mean, they were probably in a situation where they were going to be able to drive down no problem.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to were moving the ball at ease. And then when you have a penalty and it puts you behind the chains, a lot of times it'll change the way you call the game. And we saw that you give Bergen an opportunity to pin their ears back and come after the quarterback, and they know it's not going to be a run. They're an excellent pass rushing team.
And you can see both teams taking their time during this timeout. Just the atmosphere, though, just
Horseshoe around the stadium, standing room only, watching the game. You can bet that everybody's excited to get into this one.
a young man who knows all about this rivalry. Dominic Campanelli now in as the lefty. Got a flag on this play. Looks like it's going to be hold. I mean, literally, there are children sitting in the corner across from us. And we'll see Dominic Campanelli, the sophomore, at 6 foot, 180 pounds. Again, both these guys, Duffy and Campanelli, have combined for a little over 600 yards passing because they haven't had to. So it will be a hold. And both offensive line very highly touted.
Well, both teams centralize around the running line, and typically we see them execute the running game at a high level. But with two defensive fronts as good as these are, they know they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit to loosen them up.
Yep. Again, Don Bosco running a 3-4. Here's a little screen. And that goes for a little bit, not much.
Jack Blue.
And Kumo. Jack Kumo was the man who called that. Headed to Princeton, 6'3", 230-pound senior. We're down to the final 2 minutes and 50 seconds here in quarter number one. It's, again, second down and 20. Nice snap to Campanelli. Campanelli, and he had it for a second. Threw it a little too late. Good break up there by Matthew Severin, the twin of Nicholas Severin. He does have one pass defended entering play today. Coach Sabella said his brother Nicholas, he said he's got to get us a big turnover. That could have been his other brother making the play there. Good job.
Yeah, you gotta like when you see a guy drive on the football like that. He knew that the pass was a little bit weak. He didn't step into it to throw it like he needed to. And a good corner who's in position will take that break angle and knock it away. And if you give him another second, he'll go take it and pick it off and take it for a touchdown.
Third and 17, and Campanelli goes nowhere. And big 99, Jovan George, who they said, Coach Sabella quoted, we need him to have a big game because he's got tons of potential at 6'2", 295. With the folks like Temple, Buffalo, Kent State looking at him. Here comes the punting unit for Bergen Catholic. So both teams, after opening drive touchdowns, will be forced to punt. Although, I would say that Don Bosco in a little bit of a better situation here with Connor Cosgrove standing on the 50-yard line. See if they get the snap good and the punt off. It looks like it could be a good one. Cosgrove will let it bounce. And it will roll into plus territory. That's where the Iron Men will have it when we return. 1:46 to go here in quarter number one. As Don Bosco Prep and Bergen Catholic tied up at 7 apiece. First and 10. Minakuchi looking wide open to the far side, and it's caught. We're back to action. Logan Casey makes the catch. And Logan Casey, or rather, my apologies, Bobby Mays, who made the big play earlier, scored the touchdown. His third of the year, makes the catch, his third catch of the day.
And he did a good job of sitting down in the zone. He saw there when the soft cover 3. The outside linebacker on that side was sitting in the curl lane, so outside the numbers was wide open. He sat down in the open window, and the quarterback was able to work his way back to him.
Come out in a full backfield behind Minakuchi. He is popped. Logan Bush, that is. And that defensive line, Sadir Mitchell and Malachi Mercer. His first team All-New Jersey last year. Multiple Division I offers already. 6'2", 215 pounds. As Vito Campanelli and his staff look for his 9th win against Don Bosco. He's 8-11 all time, combined with his brother. And here's Nolan James. James gets all the way to the 30. It'll be third down and short here. It's a crucial down here early in this ballgame as we come to the end of the first quarter.
An excellent play call that time as the blitz was coming on the backside. Both the outside linebacker and the weak safety were coming up and blitzing on the outside, and they were running the other way. If he can find a room and make a cut right there, he's probably out the gate because there's going to be no pursuit on the backside.
So third down and about 5 to go. Line to gain is the 25. Minakuchi will run. Minakuchi will get a first down all the way to the 20 inside the 19. And that'll be a first down by Don Bosco Prep, and that may be all she wrote for quarter number one. As the clock winds down in the final 5 seconds here, and that will be it for the first quarter. We are through the first 12 minutes of this 87th meeting between these two teams, and it has been a war in so many different ways. And we'll take a timeout. We'll have second quarter action for you right after this on Flow Football. them for all they're doing here today. They're the ones putting all the work in. Joe and I are just the pretty faces that they hide behind the camera. As Don Bosco is threatening to take the lead here. Big get set to start, trip to the right side. Second quarter, just about set to begin. Pistol formation for the Ironmen. It's a handoff up the middle. They get 3 or 4, maybe 5 yards. I think that was Nolan James. No, Logan Bush this time.
Well, Bush did a good job of hitting the hole and keeping his leg dry. A lot of times you'll see a guy get wrapped up like that and look to go down. He kept his legs churning. The only time you don't get positive yards is when you quit trying to get positive yards. And that time he kept digging and was able to grab 2 or 3 more yards on that carry.
So coming into the ball game last week, Logan Bush had 7 yards on the year. He had 16 carries for 207 yards. As Minicucci throws a slant, and it's broken up in the last second. Good play by Daquan Stewart, the 6'1" junior.
Yeah, excellent job of getting position on the inside on the slant to spend their go-to route. And that time the defensive back read it and realized what was happening and stepped in front of the receiver, just unable to reel it in as both of them got their hands on the football.
So 3rd down and 4. Line to gain is the 10-yard line. Maybe the 11 round. Here we go. Minicucci sets up the screen. And he's going to break through. James scores. Touchdown, Ironman. Nolan James. His first touchdown of the game, his 2nd of the year. They have a chance to make it 14-7 with the extra point.
Excellent play call that time with a little bit of reversion. And for those who were paying attention, they set up to show the wheel route on the right while it gave the option screen a chance to develop on the left. Quarterback comes back, drops it to the receiver, and you see the speed the running back had coming out of the backfield, able to get points. And that time they called, it looks like they called a chop block below the waist. But that time they called the right play as the blitz was coming from the other side. Quarterback had enough time to drop it in, and the back showed you his speed.
Well, they got the extra point as there was a chop block here in the extra point play. And so it is 14-7. The score just a minute into the 2nd quarter. And Joe, if I'm the head coach for Bergen Catholic, Vito Campanelli, actually they have not taken the extra point. My apologies there. We missed it while they were showing the Don Bosco crowd. Here's the extra point. And it is good. So there we go. 14-7. Bergen Catholic down as we start the 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Flow football brings you the 87th matchup between these two teams.
Please move your Jeep or it will be towed. Again, red Jeep Wrangler, 795. P as in Peter, G as in George, K as in King. The Jersey plate, please move it or it will be towed. Thank you. Team for Bergen Catholic are Karate and Memo. Kicking off for Don Bosco is Gavin Gordon.
11:04 to go here in quarter number 2 as we are speeding through. Let's look at Joe Simmons here as Don Bosco Prep marched down the field again. Made easy work of it. And they're waiting to do a roughly 15-yard penalty on the chop block prior to the touchdown. And the ref is saying, hey guys, come on. So they'll be kicking from the 45-yard line. I think it's safe to say they'll be starting from the 20.
If it were me in this case, I'd be looking for an onside kick. I mean, there's nothing to lose if you don't get it.
At worst, they start at the 35.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's what they do. It's loose and a little bit too much on it. And I think Bergen Catholic had no problem recovering that. As Christian Carty was the young man that picked it up. He's the wide receiver coach for Bergen Catholic's son, headed to Columbia. There's a picture on his Twitter page with a Columbia blue hat with the New York symbol on it. I thought that was pretty sweet. Either way, Bergen Catholic's got an answer here, Joe.
They do. Last time they were scored on, they answered quickly with a 3-play drive and a nice run on the end around. And now they've come back out in a traditional formation. Let's see what they do.
Come back out. First play. And the #1 player in the state of New Jersey, as far as junior class go, Jordan Thomas, 6'6", 305, says, I don't think so, Saeed.
And that's the thing when you watch Jordan Thomas play, you look at how quick he is off the football. The only thing that people are probably going to question is, does that motor run high for all the snaps that he's in the game? And we've seen him play already. We know that it does.
Yeah, I love it. One thing I do like about these kids that are getting recruited, you'll see him wearing the gloves from they just visited. I think that's pretty cool. Also, 3 or 4 on the play. And there's a little flare route to the outside, gets to the 30. And a good tackle by the defender there, Mac Guja, the DB. So it'll be 3rd down and 8, a gain of 6. Big down here for Bergen Catholic. There's Duffy. Duffy, wide open, caught. And he's all the way to the 40, breaking tackles to the 30. He stopped finally at the 25. Jack Camo, big play. And he came in averaging over 16 yards per catch, Joe. And he moves the chains again with a big play.
Out in the flats and creating an opportunity to score points now, as he was able to break a couple tackles and turn what would have been a 6 or 7 yard gain into a big game.
55-yard completion there. And handed off to St. Fleur, and he is stopped in the backfield. Another great play by Jaden Brown. Coach Sabella talks about him being the vocal leader. He really felt like he's starting to get healthy this year. Finished last year strong as a sophomore. He's a junior now. Had 10-plus tackles in the state championship game. He makes a play there. Also 4. There's a quick throw over to the 21, Christian Carty. 11 catches, 121 yards coming into today's game. That's his first catch of the day. And he's been valuable in other ways. He was the one who picked up the onside kick as he'll come off the field. So 3rd down and 6 after a gain of 8. 8.5 minutes to go. Saeed St. Fleur again. Jaden Brown says, I don't think so. And he makes a tremendous play in the backfield as the Mike linebacker. And it'll be 4th down. Here's an interesting situation here as the kicker, Gaetano, actually there's a personal foul on both teams. They're offsetting. Either way, it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a skirmish on the backside, and the idea was one of the Bergen players was laying on top of the Don Bosco player, and they started kicking, and that's when the officials figured it out. But so far, to my surprise, that they've gone 4-4 outside. And for those of you who don't know, it's where you line up in your 3 and your 5 technique, both go outside, and they shoot a double barrel blitz up the middle. And Bergen hadn't been able to pick it up. I mean, we've seen 2 plays on 1 plays on the inside very easily.
That is called by Bergen Catholic. That'll give us a chance to take one as well. 8:03 to go. Big 4th down coming for Bergen Catholic. We step aside here as Don Bosco and Bergen continue on Flow football. 4th down coming. Fourth down and 12. Two receivers out to the left. Duffy, now 3 actually. Duffy in the middle. He'll be short of the first down. Well short. The line to gain was the 15. They'll be just under the 20, so they will go down in that 4th down. So a turnover on downs. We'll see Don Bosco with a chance, Joe, to really throw down the sword, so to speak.
This is an opportunity for them to separate themselves a little bit more and build a cushion heading into the half. So if they can put together a good drive right here and come away with points, it'll put a lot of pressure on Bergen Catholic to change the way they do things.
Just hand it off to
James on the carry.
James. Nolan James has a touchdown today.
Brought down by Kinsler and Barry. Gain of 2,
Down to
second
the
and 8.
middle portion of this second quarter. Don Bosco scored first. Bergen answered quickly. And then Don Bosco, after a few exchanged possessions, scored on a Nolan James screenplay. Put them up 14-7 after this drive by Bergen Catholic was cut short on 4th down. They'll have 4 wide here on 2nd down and mid-range. Benacucci will run it. He'll lower his shoulder shy of the 1st down marker. The line to gain was the 30. He'll be short by a yard or 2.
3rd and short.
Have to like the way Benacucci can get after it on the run.
You gotta like that. Shows you a lot of versatility too. Seems to be a lot more poised and seasoned at the position now, and has a better understanding of what he needs to do for his team, to be successful.
It says a lot too, like to be at a program like the Don Bosco Prep and this be your 2nd year starting. Talks about the talent that he has. 14-7. Trying to drive to add to that, and they might do so if they keep running it like this as Logan Bush gashes Bergen Catholic for positive yardage.
1st and 10 down.
Move the chain for another 1st down.
Logan Bush looking like Reggie Bush with those runs and that quick feet in the hole that time. Showed you the shiftiness, and then we got to the 3rd level, which is where you expect him to be great, and his feet seemed to come together, and he couldn't make up his mind and was tackled. That's where he needs to add that explosive dip and rip or spin move to his arsenal to see if he can pull away from some of those runs.
Come out, trips to the near side. Benacucci will run it. He'll pass the 45-yard line for about 5 yards.
And Mitchell.
And that's where he's going to come in handy on the next level when he gets to Delaware, having the ability to run that little read option and have an understanding of how to see it on the run and recognize fronts and know when you're going to be pulling in and when you're going to keep it, because they do a lot of that on that level.
Listen to the young players that have played here at Don Bosco Prep. Just football-wise, Tommy DeVito at Syracuse, who's doing a tremendous job there. Benacucci, the running back, swallowed up by DJ Samuels, who I saw a recruiting video earlier this week previewing this matchup. They said DJ Samuels is a 3-star that plays like a 5-star, which to me was like, well, why is he not a 5-star?
The stars can be a little bit off every now and then. We've seen a lot of 3-star kids since we've been doing this that already have signed at major colleges, and there are a lot of 4.5 stars that are still waiting who aren't getting a lot of offers because of the evaluation process. College coaches recognize what kids can do. When you watch this kid, there's nothing in his motive that tells you that he's not going to be excellent on the next level.
Exactly. 5 wide here on 3rd down and 8. Manakuchi pressured. He'll step up in the pocket. He'll be close to a first down, if not a first down. They'll be inside the plus territory, and it will be a first down. And here's again Jabril Peppers, plays for the New York Giants. Matt Sims, Mike Teal was the record-setting quarterback at Rutgers when they were at their peak recently. Ryan Grant was a good running back for the Green Bay Packers. Again, a lot of great athletes have come from both of these high schools. 1st and 10. James busting through inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. It'll be close to another first down. I tell you what, Bergen Catholic better figure out this offense here. Their defense has been their calling card. They have not been able to get any offense going since that first drive when they ran pretty much 3 jet sweeps.
Yeah, it's been rough, and Don Bosco seems to have found a rhythm. They've set up the first couple of formations, and they found some formations that they like where they get some matchups that they like on the inside. And so far, they've been able to attack it as they go to double open right now.
So you'll see again, very short yardage situation here. They may go deep, just simply try to move those chains, and they will do just that as Nolan James gets the carry, the bread into deeper Crusader territory.
We've been watching a lot of football, and we've seen Bergen Catholic already, and we know how good they can be, but I don't think they've been hit in the mouth like this so far all year, where the other team is saying, hey, we're just going to spread you out, and we're going to say our front 7 and your front 7, and let's see who's the best. And right now, Don Bosco Prep is getting the better of this matchup.
And now it's going to come down to who makes the play. Will we see Sadir Mitchell, or one of the guys that's being looked at, signing with a Power 5 school? And again, read option play there, handed off to Logan Bush.
And this is a case of RPO. They're just counting the box. Doubles open. We call that a gray formation because there's nothing special about it. You just got 2 receivers flexed out on both sides. When you motion like that and they don't bring anybody, you get the extra man in the box to help, and it's 6 on 6. Now your running back, all he has to do is find the opening, and he should get 5 or 6 yards if everybody wins their matchup.
Again, Coach Sabella said they've kind of changed their system over the last few years. A lot more of a 3-4 wide set. And off on the draw at the middle, Nolan James just sleek and fast and powerful all the way into the red zone as he takes a 2nd and 4 deep into Bergen Catholic territory as they continue to run the ball, run the clock down to the final 2.5 minutes of this half.
Yeah, you can see that young man has a gear, and he's quick out of the hole. He's one of those backs who can get himself in trouble because he's running and so fast out. Yet you see how explosive he is when he hits the hole.
Timeout called by Bergen Catholic. Vito Campanelli trying to rally his troops, Joe. Again, this defense not really seeing this type of, I guess, power against them all year. What is the next adjustment that you got to make if you're Vito Campanelli?
Well, they're a base 4-2-5 team, and for a lot of 4-2-5 teams, when you go doubles, the automatic check is to go cover 2. Well, it looks like they're trying to play cover 3 still, and basically shell on the outside and take away the slant lanes that they got burned with earlier in the game. By doing that, the box is light. So you've got 5 people in the box, you got 5 people blocking. If everybody gets a hat on a hat, then you have no advantages. So he either needs someone to win at the point of attack, or he's going to have to bring somebody out of the coverage and put them in the box to slow this run game down. And I think when he does that, Don Bosco's counter is going to get back to throwing the slant flat routes that they were throwing early in the game.
It's the first time this year that they have trailed. They're up last week against Seton Hall Prep. They were up 28-7 at the half. And if I'm correct, I remember they were up 21-0 against Saguaro. Dill Barton, they were up 7-3, ended up winning 21-6, and then in their opener at home against Cardinal Gibbons, it was 28-7 at the half. This will be the first time they're down all year long. And this is nothing new for Coach Campanelli. It's Don Bosco Prep. Again, great program. They've got the same Josephs and Joes that can play with just about anybody in this country. Record doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it's a situation, too, where there's familiarity, too. You know tendencies, you've seen enough of it, and the kids all look at each other because they're so close in proximity. There's no fear. And because of that, it's going to come down to who executes the best on that day. And right now, Don Bosco's just been a little better at execution than Bergen Catholic.
Well, this is a huge series. Not only in, they need to stop somehow. They can hold them to 3 or get a turnover. There's the handoff up the middle to Bush. And that's the first time we've really seen that defensive line dominate up front.
Well, they changed the defensive front up. They went to a 4-3, which means they're playing man on the outside now. They're getting that base 4-3 unless they're going to play cover 2 behind it. If they're going to play cover 2 behind it, it's one of those, they're playing it with linebackers in the game and not an extra corner. So they're out of the nickel package now, and they're getting in to stop the run. Just their thought process is, let's make them beat us throwing it. We don't know if they can, but right now we've got to do something to stop this bleeding that we're doing in the running game.
They're just gashing them to death here in this one. And a loss, maybe a gain of 1 maybe on that play. I think they did give him 1. So man in motion. Manakuchi dumps it off and he can't catch it. There's a flag. And I have a feeling that's either a hold or a illegal man downfield situation.
Yeah, 51 was down the field. He shouldn't have been that far. I think it was an RPO and the quarterback took too long on an RPO. You can't do that. It's got to be out of your hand quick.
See, yeah, it is on Don Bosco. And those are drive-altering ones, not necessarily killing.
Well, it changes because they were in a base 4-3 defense because of the setup. And with the run assignment, he had linebacker. So he was doing what he was told to do. The quarterback's job is to get it out quick in the RPO situation, and he didn't do that.
So it'll be second down and looks like line to gain is the 11. They'll be at the 19, or at the 20. And a slant up the middle, caught. They're inside the 10, all the way down to the 3-yard line. Matthew Eitner, just his second catch of the year. His other was a 15-yard touchdown against St. Joseph Regional earlier this year.
Yeah, that's the play we call shoots and slants, where you get the quick flat route on the outside with the slant underneath, and then on the front side, on the strong side, he gets the same thing on the other side, but in reverse. So it lets him leverage the safety, and that he would play on the other side. He found the receiver in the slot, and was able to knock it down with the easy pass.
First and goal now. Handoff to Bush. Bush pushing forward, and they're going to say touchdown. And it's a Don Bosco Prep touchdown. It is 20-7 as we're coming up on 1 minute to go here in the second quarter.
Wow, and that's the power football we're talking about. They bring a lot of attitude to the table.
That's Logan Bush's 3rd touchdown in the last 2 ball games. And here comes the extra point by Jack Donnelly. He's 2 for 2 today. And you can make that 3 for 3. He is 20 of 22. 50 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Shocking to see Don Bosco Prep ahead here in this one. 21-7 the tally.
things and you're taking on your nemesis. And right now, they're not happy with the results they've been getting.
A long ways to go in this storied rivalry. And here comes the kick. It's a squibber. And they picked up at the 12-yard line. And here comes Party and company. There's a flag. And that's Christopher Memo who returned that kick. And the man who just scored the touchdown is the one that made the tackle on the kickoff. And Logan Bush, and there is a flag again. Looks like there might be a block in the back of some sort. And it will either way be a first down. There's 2 flags on the play.
I think one of them might be a face mask or something.
And the referee in the face of the player for Don Bosco Prep. And that's Shaquan Walters. There's a block in the back on Don Bosco. And again, this is certainly not new territory for Coach Campanelli, being down to his rival. Is this a situation too, after this penalty, you just knee down, take a knee and head into the locker room?
No, I think you run the ball at least a couple of times to see what you can get. I'm really shocked so far from Bergen that we haven't seen Dominic Campanelli come in a little bit at quarterback and even offer a change of pace and maybe add a little bit of a dimension to the running game.
Yeah. He's been in maybe a few times. And he's handed off on the draw, and Don Bosco shuts it down immediately. Can't wait to see what the first half stats look like in this one. We're just going to let the clock run down. That will be it. That is it for the first half here at Crusader Stadium. Coming off a tough loss to Iona Prep, Don Bosco Prep not backing down from today's challenge. They lead it at the half, 21-7 over the unbeaten 13th ranked team in the country, Bergen Catholic. We we'll have more to break down for you as we get close to start the second half, Joe. But Joe, just give me your overall impressions of this ball game and, you know, how Don Bosco Prep has been able to take this lead.
Really impressed with the physicality that they've come out and played with. They open the game up, throwing the football, stretching the defense out, putting a little something different for them to think about. And I think Bergen has to go in and make the adjustment now on how they're going to defend the spread offense.
That is halftime here. We will be right back as we get set for the second half. We certainly appreciate you tuning in as Don Bosco Prep leads at 21-7, and you're watching the exclusive coverage of this matchup right here on Flow Football. And Saeed St. Fleur, -8 yards rushing, Jay.
Yeah, couldn't get anything going. The defensive line is doing the best job of getting penetration in the middle, so they're going to have to figure out creative ways to get him the ball in space.
They got, I think, a touchdown drive here is a must for Bergen. It looks like we're going to see sure. It looks like that's Dominic Campanelli in that first pass. A little behind, and it's St. Fleur and incomplete. For Don Bosco, they finished the first half with 138 yards rushing, just under 100 yards passing with 96. And again, Bobby Mays, the wide receiver, 3 catches, 61 yards. Minicucci, player watching this one, 6 for 11 passing, 50 yards rushing, 96 yards passing, and 1 touchdown through a screen pass to Nolan James for his first of the day. So second down and 10 after the missed throw. It was a short gain, maybe 4 yards on the play to the 24. Let's see if that was Saeed St. Fleur. I think it was. No, it was DJ Samuels getting the carry here, and what a good way to change things up and bring in someone at running back at 6'2", 240 pounds.
Yeah, you got to change things up, and right now they're going to try to get a little bit more physical. You can tell come out with a different mentality, and they're going to try to force their will to see if they can move this defensive line around.
I think they took him out for this play. Can't quite tell from here. Either way, Campanelli, I think he thought it was a little shorter. Kristen Carty and him got their signals crossed, and they will look like they're going to do a 3 and out. And you can see the defense for Don Bosco as looks like they'll get set for the punt. Very quick 3 and out here, 47-second drive. They just barely moved at all. Here's the snap. A good punt. Fair catch called for at the 41-yard line. I think they'll say he was at the 42 when he made the fair catch.
At the 40.
And so, here comes Don Bosco, who didn't necessarily move the ball at will, but they certainly, when they needed to get yardage, they were able to do so with no problem.
Yeah, they found a way through formation to get some of the things that they want. And, you know, you could tell from their script that they had about 7 formations they wanted to see how Bergen was going to defend them, and they found what they liked, and they were able to execute against those formations.
And Sabella, the head coach at Don Bosco Prep, his offense back out. 4 receivers. And the first play, a flag called. And he is lucky to get past the line of scrimmage because Sadir Mitchell had his bear claws on him. I think the flag is probably in the vicinity of holding. Looks like Kevin Garcia is the one they're pointing at. I could be wrong.
Face mask.
Now it's a face mask on the defense, and that's going to be 15 yards. And that's a tough break for Bergen Catholic, but it was interesting to see how he got loose.
They did an excellent job with the jump cut, and that's why the defender reached out and grabbed the face mask, trying to bring him down. You saw his head go down. But one of the things about what they're doing right now, that time they played a base 4-3, which brought them out of their 4-2-5 set that they like to play, and they played cover 2 behind it. Well, that's going to still be a run box, even in the spread formation and spread set. So now you see them in the 4-2 looking to defend it.
First and 10 of the 41 in Bergen Catholic territory. Nolan James for a 2-yard gain, bottled up by Christopher Nimmo and Malachi Mercer of the Bergen Catholic defense. And now Nolan James coming off hobbling, whether it's a cramp or a injury, we'll see. Hopefully he'll be able to come back. But Campanelli and his troops, they have the mindset that you're going to get the best shot of these teams that you play, and you have to earn everything because nothing's given, especially when you come off your first undefeated season since 1998. And beat Don Bosco twice on the way to it with 4 receivers stripped to the right. Here's Bush. Bush trying to find a seam, and he gets first down yardage inside the 30 to the 28.
Yeah, Bush is the more shifty of the two. Low power back who has the ability to shift and change direction really fast. James is that downhill speed guy who's going to make one cut and he can run away from you real fast. But both of these guys are dynamic, and still, they went trips open. They caught him in a 4-3 look again. a 4-1 look in that situation, and the cutback lane is almost always going to be there when you get that formation.
So 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line as they just march down the field here after getting a 3 and out. There's Bush inside the 25, down to the 23, down the left hash. And Bush at 5'10", 185, powering his way through as they're going to wear down this Bergen Catholic defense.
Yeah, that time Bergen was in the perfect defense to stop the play. They were set up, and they just got beat and manhandled on the weak side, so when the cutback happened, nobody was there to stop him.
Again, the line to gain is the 18-yard line for a 1st down. 2nd down and 5. And they're going to call an offsides on the defense. He was way past. And it'll be a 5-yard penalty and close to it.
Yeah, didn't time that up well. He was already past his man and behind the tackle by the time they snapped the ball. And that's one of the times in high school football you're glad that they stop it early, because he had a great straight line to the quarterback, although he did feel the pressure and was able to hit the slant route really quick.
So 1st and 10 now as Bergen with their backs against the wall here. Big time. Just goes to show you how good this league is. And how even some of these teams are. Trips to their right side now for the Iron Men wearing their white tops. Bush trying to get to the outside, cuts it up the hash. And he gets a few yards there. Hensler got in on the as the Bergen Catholic crowd trying to find something to get excited about.
Well, this is going to be a big down for the defense. If they can keep them from getting any more yardage and put them behind the chains a little bit and force them into a passing situation, maybe they can get off the field with at least nothing better worse than a field goal attempt.
Come out with 3 backs in the backfield surrounding Manacucci. 2nd and 8. There's Bush inside the 10, now to the 9. And they have just dominated this one.
Yeah, that was just mano and mano up front, and the offensive line from Don Bosco is moving something every time they put their cats in certain people. But the running backs are doing an excellent job of finding and weaving. It may not always be in the gap it's supposed to be in, but they're finding those holes in the defense and exploiting them.
It'll be 3rd down and short here. This is a big down. I wonder if this is 2-down territory too. Both teams have good field goal kickers. Either way. Hand off. Yeah, that's going to be real close. It will be 4th down. And I will say that as much as you would like to see, it will be short. 4th down and 1 here. This, I don't want to say this is the ball game, but this is the ball game in a way.
It's a big play in the ball game for sure. But as much success as they've had running the football, you've got to know that they're probably going to be running to the right side right here and give them an opportunity to get this short yardage situation.
Here Mitchell jumps off sides, and it'll be a free 1st down. That's a frustration there. 1st down, now 1st and goal for Don Bosco Prep, and Sadira Mitchell knew it.
Yeah, we talk about mistakes and how the team that makes the fewest mistakes is probably going to be the team that win the game. And, you know, we've seen a lot of penalties add up, but I'm sure Bergen has far more penalties than Don Bosco in the game.
University of Texas commit. Frustrated after that. Can Bergen Catholic with their backs against the wall here make a stop, or can Don Bosco put the hammer down? And off, James. Get it to the outside, touchdown! He was upended, but he held on to it, and it's 27-7. Don Bosco running away with this one.
By James, he was headed in the B gap, nothing there, decided to bounce it and shows the speed, upended it in the air, but the ball had already crossed the plane before he hit the ground, so it was a touchdown. Excellent job that time by Bergen, by Don Bosco, creating opportunities for themselves. There is a flag down, though, so it could be something on the play.
It looks like
so they called it back. They called it.
And there was a flag, so it will move it back. No touchdown. Might have been a hold. We didn't get to see it. We apologize. Either way, Campanelli's defense trying to step up here. And a lucky play there. And now DJ Samuels sacks him back after the penalty. The scoreboard chant has been thrown out with 4:46 to go here in the third quarter. This could be a turning point.
Absolutely. This could be the momentum change that they needed. We saw what looked like it was going to be a touchdown come off the board, and now they're in second and long.
So second down from the 18. Pretty much the goal line is the marker. As they catch at the 10 by the receiver, Nassim Cosby, who had 7 catches for 147 yards and a touchdown last week against Iona Prep. It's his first catch of the day.
Yeah, showed good hands, but when he caught it, he looked like he didn't know if he should run or not. Or he was waiting for something to set up. He's got to be a little fluid when he makes that catch and get upfield and get all the yards he can in those situations.
Third down and 8 is the situation here. They've got to score pretty much. They cannot get a first down here. The line, the chains are down. And I think a timeout's going to be called. As Bergen Catholic calls the timeout. We'll take a quick one with them as well. 3:32 to go here in the third quarter. Don Bosco up 21-7 on Flow Sports. Third down and goal from the 8-yard line. A penalty on Don Bosco took points off the board. And now Bergen has to come up big here. I have a feeling Dan Sabella and that offense, they could certainly just run the ball because they've been doing it all day on Bergen Catholic. Timeout to end. I don't know if Don Bosco just called a timeout themselves. I think both coaches know this is a very critical juncture in the contest. Somebody always finds a way to step up in these games, Joe. We'll find out in this moment who's doing it. Power formation in the backfield. They're going to send James in motion. And off to Bush. Bush does not score. maybe a yard there. Great play by Christian Gonzalez, who came in with 24 tackles on the year. It'll be fourth down here.
That was the case, mess it up, and let's get the points. So I suspect they'll be kicking a field goal here just to add to the lead.
Well, it's a win here for Bergen Catholic, if anything, but Jack Donnelly is the kicker. He's 2 for 2 on field goals. Snap down, kick is up, and good. 24-7. 2:52 to go here in the third as Don Bosco Prep has Bergen Catholic on the ropes. Can they get the final knockout punch, or will Bergen Catholic come out swinging? We'll find out here in the final 15 minutes here on Flow Football. This is the toughest test Bergen Catholic has faced this year. And it's not even close. They have not trailed all year, much less down by 17. But Don Bosco has come out fit as a fiddle here today. Here's Chris Memo and company trying to get a return here. And he gets all the way to the 25-yard line. I think he was down. No, they're going to say he fumbled it. And here comes Cosgrove, and they have it. As Don Bosco might have just thrown the knockout punch that they needed here as they forced the fumble. Joe, to me, it looked like he was down, but it guess not.
The punch came in on the backside. He was hit. They forced him back with the contain, made him turn back. He got hit, spun back, and when he turned to cut back, he got hit from behind, and the ball came rolling out as he was on his way to the ground. But excellent job by Don Bosco on kick coverage. A lot of times that'll happen, and you'll see a kick, and it looks like he's got one man to beat, and he'll get outside that man. He did an excellent job of keeping leverage and turning him back inside where the help was.
And so they'll have it in the red zone, first down. Hand off to James. Outside to the 5. That's where he's knocked out of bounds.
That time they got into a tight formation and went double tight, but they also put security in the B gap by moving a bigger player up in the gap so that they couldn't blitz inside. And they just went downhill, mano a mano, and you saw the speed of James getting to the outside. And he's been doing a lot of good running when he's got a chance to get to the corner.
Second down and 2 from the 6-yard line. They're looking to punch it in here. Make it a 4-touchdown game. And off to James. He waltzes in, and the route is on. 30-7, Joe. Did not expect this. Big pat on the back. Don Bosco Prep, after giving up 22 points in the fourth quarter last week in a loss. They're up 30-7 with 2:16 to go here in the third.
Just total domination up front by Don Bosco.
Extra point is good. 31-7. It has been all Don Bosco Prep since the 7-7 score. And we'll take a timeout. Don Bosco crowd all into it. And the Bergen Catholic side across our press box area here, just quiet. Demo again. And he stopped shy of 30. And his fumble been the final nail in the coffin, but still a lot of time left. We got to find a way to get the passing game going. But Don Bosco has just been all over that offensive line, not giving either Jack Duffy or Vito Campanelli time. We'll see if they can get something going here. Dominic Campanelli. There's a screen to the near side. And good yardage there. That's Quincy Porter, the 6'4", 185-pound sophomore. He had 7 catches coming in today. I think that's his first of the day.
Yeah, bringing Campanelli in for a spark, trying to get the offense going, creating opportunity for some run-pass options, but hoping that he can bring something or some life to this offense.
There's Campanelli by himself. He's going to run it here. Quarterback sweep. Get positive yardage inside the 40 to the 44. And Jordan Thomas is the one who brought him down. And we're coming down to the final minute and 15 seconds here of the third. Again, the Don Bosco crowd here just all up in arms, making tons of noise, and deservedly so. They have dominated this one. There's Campanelli. Hit as he throws, and he fumbled, and it was picked up by the offensive line. Looks like Jack Kumo made the recovery, and luckily it was him, because it was about to go the other way, and it would have been even uglier.
Nobody picks up the outside linebacker as he's the edge and hits Campanelli as he's trying to release the football. Lucky bounce for Bergen Catholic. That could have been ugly if Don Bosco would have picked that up.
Coming into today, Bergen Catholic had won 17 straight ball games. Their last loss was against Don Bosco Prep in November of 2020. It's 3rd and 12. Campanelli down the side and way incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. I think this is 4th down territory here, and Vito Campanelli and his offense are going to have to go for it. They're going to punt.
Well, the excitement is still in the air. The crowd is still lively, and you can hear the Don Bosco fans are getting louder and louder as the game gets further in hand. And with a quarter left, they're feeling pretty good about what they've done so far in the ball game.
They should. They have played a heck of a ball game here today. Here comes Brandon.
Pretty sure that was an illegal formation on that punt, too. There was 5 guys in the backfield.
And Brandon Harper-Seiler will punt it off, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. And it has been all Don Bosco Prep in the last 2 quarters. 31-7 score. We'll take a timeout.
But, I mean, if you put it into perspective, you talked about those offensive numbers, you take that 169-yard run out of the fold, and they've done nothing on offense.
Absolutely nothing. Here's James to the outside. Flags thrown.
Team for the carry. Brought down by Morales. And carries.
Morales made the tackle. It's a hold on Don Bosco. Don't put it past Bergen to come back, though. It's just things like that happen in the series.
Well, we've seen how explosive they can be, and they make a lot of plays. We talked about their best players and what their best players bring to the table, and none of them have had any time or anything to happen today in a positive manner.
It'll be 1st and 20 from the 16-yard line. 5 wide now for Bergen. Minicucci will run. There's a big hole. And he just runs straight into the defenders. And hopefully he's okay. Look a little oozy up.
Second down 6.
And second down now. And 6 after the play. They're going to do what they can. They're going to slow things down here. Under 11 minutes to go. They're up 24. No need to rush. As again, second and about 14. About 6. Correct myself there. And then there's the handoff to Logan Bush. And Bush gets just to the 26 and a half, maybe the 27-yard line. And this is where Bergen Catholic try to find the cracks in the offense for Don Bosco. Have some big plays. That's a possibility. They've certainly have the skill position players. Just got to find somebody to get it to them down the stretch. Down to 10 minutes. 3rd down and long. Minicucci throwing. And the receiver's open, and he makes the catch at the 45, out of bounds at the 43.
Excellent job that time. Post corners to 20, the toughest routes to throw. Minicucci led him. He did a good job of getting separation and giving himself room on the sideline to bring in the catch. And with pressure in the face, he delivers a dime.
Asim Cosby with the catch. And that's a big one. Minicucci finding exactly what he needed to do here in that situation. And I think another timeout as an injured player. Sadir Mitchell is down. And hopefully he is okay. We're trying to check him out. And let's take a timeout while we got a moment. And Sadir Mitchell trying to, actually looks like we'll be just fine. We'll stay right here. As he's able to come off the field on his own power. But that was a big throw and catch by Minicucci and Don Bosco Prep. Bush cuts up just shy of the 43-yard line.
Linebacker did an excellent job that time of setting the edge. And when Bush tried to cut back, he was in a good position that he was still able to make the tackle without any pursuit coming on the backside. And that's what you have to do when you're facing a team that has the ability to run the football like that. The problem they have is they've been being moved so much off the ball that they can't get anything or get any leverage or create angles for pursuit for the rest of the team to come through and help out.
So about a yard on the play. They'll come out in the pistol formation here. H-back to the left. Play action. Minicucci slides.
Minicucci on a keeper.
And he falls down. Hopefully, it looks like a play for Don Bosco, or rather for Bergen Catholic is down.
A little miscommunication on that play as Minicucci was looking for him on the right side and he went left and realized it, and probably a little bit of fatigue setting in for them since the offense seems like they've been on the field the whole second half.
Looks like the injured player is able to get up. And that was Joe Barry, senior,